CityNews has obtained confidential provincial government documents that consider making online remote learning a permanent fixture in schools here in this province. Now, we first told you about it yesterday on CityNews, and now today, the union heads of Ontario's teachers' unions came out on attack.
When the government should be, in the middle of a pandemic, should be concerned about the safety of students and educators in this province. They are in a back room somewhere coming up with a scheme to essentially privatize publicly funded public education.
CityNews received a copy of the provincial government's confidential consultation titled Expanding Student Access to Online and Remote Learning. Inside the package, it notes the plan under consideration is to establish remote learning as a permanent part of the elementary and secondary school system. Minister of Education Stephen Lecce has repeatedly stated during this pandemic that children are best served in the classroom, though this week he did acknowledge that the government has been exploring remote learning and its future in Ontario.
We've committed ourselves to consulting on providing that choice beyond this year.
The Minister of Education's office declined a request to speak with Lecce today about the confidential document. A written statement to CityNews doesn't address the confidential file, but in part states that parents deserve a choice next September as we continue to face uncertainty as a consequence of this global pandemic. While the Liberals and teachers' unions want to remove that choice, our government will protect it for parents, while also ensuring they have more time to make that decision.
It is absolutely vital that there's flexibility still in the fall, but to make a huge permanent shift, to change the Education Act in the middle of a pandemic, that is the part I think that we are all raising red flags about.
The confidential consultation looks at 3 different models. Remote learning during snow days and emergencies, similar to what we're now experiencing. Teacher-facilitated online courses funded by the Ministry of Education. And the third option is a fully independent model for online learning with little teacher support delivered through an independent learning centre, not Ministry of Education teachers.
What they're proposing has absolutely nothing to do with enhancing the learning environment or the learning experience of students. It has to do with defunding, destabilizing public education in this province.
There's no word on where the consultations are at right now between the government and stakeholders. All that we do know is that online remote learning will once again be an option for Ontario families next year.